Now, let's talk about the business side. Obviously, it's one thing to build a channel, have a massive audience,
Yeah.
but what are some of the ways that you're currently monetizing this?
Oh, so of course there's YouTube ads. That brings a little bit. I work with brands. So in the last year, I've worked with quite a few AI brands. I hopped on the AI scene. I know we'll talk about it later, but I hopped on the AI scene quite quickly. And that has given me a huge leverage because now when AI brands look for someone to work with, I'm the first channel they find. So I've worked with loads of AI brands and they'll pay for sponsorship and I will talk about their company. But as long as it's ethical, that's one of the key things that I kind of try to work by. I won't work with an AI brand that writes an essay for you because that's not okay in education. So I work with a company that maybe helps with understanding research papers or something like that. Another way is I started my own business called The Page Doctor. And that was a result of comments from my audience saying, I want one-to-one help. I want tailored support. I don't just want your video. I want more of you. And so I started actually helping students with their essay directly. And then I got to the point where I couldn't do it because it was so much. So me and my husband, we co-founded The Page Doctor. And we now have, I think, around 11 or 12 freelance workers who actually edit, and they're all PhD researchers. So it's monetized in a few different ways, and I think it's the way that I sustain myself now. So it's done great, and I'm really proud of it.
And this is what you're doing full time right now?
Full time, me and my husband.
You and your husband?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got on the bag of
Yeah.
Right.
And we're in the UAE because of it as well.
Okay.
So it allows us to work remotely. We're all online, so we can work from wherever we want. And we decided 3 months ago, let's just move here.
Yes. One of the things that I try to do in this channel is to inspire people through your stories, through people that we've worked with before, that if you're good at something
Yeah.
and you actually have value to give and you're open to sharing that with the world,
Yeah.
a lot of good can come from it.
100%.
Now, it might not come overnight. It might take a while, as you mentioned, to build your channel, to build the audience, to get your message out there. It requires a lot of patience.
Yeah.
But before that, it requires belief.
Yeah.
Because most people, we're all conditioned to get a degree, maybe four and a half in some instances, get a job and work for someone else for as long as it takes. And that's the only way to, freedom is when you retire and you enjoy life that way.
Yeah.
What we're saying is if you're already good at something,
Yeah.
clearly rather than somebody else paying you for it, you can just have your own audience and leverage on that. But it requires a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Why do you think most people struggle making that shift from following the path everybody's on to having their own path?
Because it relies on a lot of discipline. And I think most people don't think they have that discipline. It relies on so much discipline. It's I can't even put it into words. The problem with working for yourself is you need to make sure that you are actually working for yourself. You're taking the time to plan your day, you're networking, you're emailing, you're actually putting in the work. Whereas when you work for someone else, you can sit all day and scroll on your phone, you still get paid at the end of the month, right? So a lot of people don't do it because it's taking away from that comfort and that stability. And it was so hard for me to drop that mindset, especially like I said, my background is parents saying doctor, 9 to 5. And they still ask me till today, like, what are you doing? What job are you working? And I'm like, this is my job. A lot of it comes from getting rid of that mindset that I'm going to rely on someone else and instead rely on yourself. And there's so much discipline that's needed in that. You have to be your own best supporter. And a lot of the time it's hard to wake up every day and do that. So it's not for everyone.
Earlier you said if you had to choose one platform, it would be YouTube.
100%.
Why is that?
I think YouTube appreciates their creators. They pay when I say very well, I mean they pay. Instagram doesn't pay. TikTok has just started to pay and doesn't pay very well anyway. I think it allows people can actually earn a living from YouTube alone, which no other platform allows you to do. They were the first platform to monetize for creators and give creators a share of the pay of their profit. I also find that my audience is there. The people that want to learn are there. Instagram's more for fun and for short form content, same with other platforms. But I think YouTube is the one where people have more recently dropped off, but actually they're coming back now. So loads of TikTok stars are actually making YouTube channels now because it's kind of come back around again. It's always going to be my favorite platform. I think that's where I can disseminate my knowledge best as well.
Does it also have something to do with like longevity, right? Because I
100%.
I feel like if I post an Instagram video or a reel,
Yeah.
in a week it's probably going to die off.
Definitely.
Where if you post a video, maybe from when you first started,
Yep.
it continues to grow, and if you have a
Definitely.
business, you might be still getting clients from it.
Yeah, we call that evergreen content.
Evergreen content,
Yeah,
right.
it's
Yeah,
my content is all evergreen.
right.
I have videos that I don't even recognize the way I look. It's from like 10 years ago.
It's still there.
I'm like a baby, and it's still doing well. It's still paying me till today because it's evergreen. Something on Instagram, even if it hit 10 million views, it's dead after, a month or 2 months, and that's it.
Dr. Amina, let's say I just launched my YouTube channel
Okay.
and I just hired you to be my consultant.
Okay.
Maybe give me 3 to 5 things that I need to do to get it to 10,000 subscribers.
Okay. Post regularly. So you need to have a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So that's whatever it is. It can be once a month. It can be once a week. It can be whatever it is, but more regularly is better. You have to post. It doesn't matter what you post. You have to post. Number 2, have a niche. So define your niche. What are you speaking about? It can't just be anything. It has to be very specific so your audience know exactly what they're getting. Number 3, your thumbnail and your titles need to be good. And I don't mean perfect. You don't have to hire anyone. I do it on Canva. It just has to attract an audience. So whatever you're talking about, it needs to be there. Number 4 is your community tab. People underestimate how effective the community tab is. So when you go onto YouTube, the one where you can type things, YouTube push that quite a lot. So every time you post something, just write something in the community tab. Say, hey, I've posted a video. What do you want to see next? Talk to your community. That will help as well. You asked for 5, right? Well, what's the 5th one? No, I think that's it really. Invest in equipment, but actually have good sound. I'd rather hear something that's good than look at something that's bad. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I
Audio
think
more important,
audio is more
than
important.
visual.
So it doesn't matter if you have the best camera or whatever. Your phone is fine. Make sure your audio sounds good. Make sure that it's edited in a way that's clear and simple to understand, and that's fine. And but number 1 is the first one: consistently post.
Yeah.
Just post.
Yeah.
It's something, anything. You'll get those followers.
I've spoken to so many people who, I guess you can say, made it in YouTube, and they all say the same thing.
Yeah.
Consistency.
That's it.
Because it's a boring road.
Yeah.
You're not going to get subscribers. No one's going to be engaging with your content. You're going to have a lot of times where you wake up, you're like, I went through the same thing, but obviously I'm kind of in the starting phase. But I remember the first time, first 24 hours was like 1 view.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like something wrong with the video.
No problem.
You're calling the team.
No.
But consistency, and this is obviously not just in YouTube, but throughout life.
Oh, in life.
Yeah.
That's my favorite word.
Yeah, consistency.
Consistency is my
Yeah,
favorite word in
yeah,
life.
yeah.